Well, I was very nearly late then. I was absorbed in a video. I was watching a YouTube video and I looked at the time and thought, oh my God, it's 6:45. So I was very nearly late. But no, I quickly whacked on into the StreamYard broadcast, whatever thing it's called, backstage. That's what it's called, isn't it? So I wait for a few people to come in. It looks like that light's on a bit bright. It's a little bit funny and a bit hazy or quite a bit of exposure. I always have to do that. I always have to tone that down a bit. What's that? It still needs a bit, maybe a bit up. Yeah, that's okay, I suppose. It looks a bit hazy though, doesn't it? In the background, I don't know. Maybe it's just because it's dark in here. Oh, I normally have that light on actually, don't I? That's why. So we've got Andy in. Hi there, Andy. We've got Peter in. Hi there, Peter. And we've got Terry in as well. I don't know whether I've seen your name before, so hi there. So yeah, if you are in the chat, then please drop in. Oh yeah, a load of people have just dropped in actually. Also, I don't have a topic, so I literally just need questions. So drop your questions in the chat, and I will do my best to answer them. We've got loads of people popping in now, up to 12 people watching. And who else have we got in here? So we've got Tommy in here. We've got Deb in here. We've got Lainey in here. We've got Kelly in here. Just trying to go through. There's tons of people joining at the moment. We've got Dazzo in here. We've got Louise in here. We've got, oh my God, people are popping in faster than they say hi at the moment. We've got Caris in here. Another new name, actually. I don't know whether I've seen you in the chat. We've got RJ in here. We've got Stu in here. Oh my God. I'm going to stop doing the shout outs in a sec because I feel like I'm going slower with the shout outs today. I don't know why, but right then, who else have we got? I've seen someone else's name in here actually. Oh, we've got someone called Jones popped in. I don't know whether I've seen you in the chat before. We've got Pick a Flipper in. Hi there. So yeah, plenty of people in. Got 24 watching already. So yeah, if you got any questions, whack them in, as it says by the title. Terry is in with the first question here. As you say, bread and butter items. What are those items? Bread and butter, basically, I don't know where I picked this up. I'm not going to take credit for it because it wasn't me who first said that. I think it was back in the day, you know, we're talking 3-4 years ago when I used to watch him on YouTube. In fact, I went on YouTube a couple of weeks ago and I typed in his name, which is Golden Finger Picker I'm talking about. I don't know why I didn't say his name, but yeah, Golden Finger Picker is the guy I'm talking about. And I typed in his name on YouTube and I couldn't find his channel. So I don't know, maybe at some point in the last 6 months or so, he's deleted his channel because I've not watched him in at least 6 months, if not a year, back when he had started doing his metal detecting, magnet fishing, that's it. But yeah, I think I first heard him say it, and then I just started saying it, and other people have said it as well. But bread and butter, I don't even know whether I mentioned what it means, but the question was what did it mean. So bread and butter just refers to anything of, you know, fairly low value, or not necessarily really low value, but just standard sales, standard value sales, nothing out of the ordinary. Bread and butter thing. So what I mean by that is when you've got, you know, I don't know, not everyone has it, but let's say you have, and I'm vegetarian, so I don't eat fish, but this example just springs to mind. So you get a nice big fish from a fish and chip shop, and maybe you're eating it and you're not taking it out. My analogies or whatever they're called, I don't know what you call them, not analogies, anecdotes or something, maybe not anecdotes, but the things that I do draw similarities with are so weird. But anyway, so you have a fish and chips, and you've got your peas, and you put your bread and butter by the side. Now, the bread and butter isn't the main meal, is it? But it's nice to have that on the side. So that's what I kind of consider it as. It's those, you know, standard sales that are nice to have. They keep things going. They keep you sustained, basically, for a nice addition as well. And then obviously you've got your higher value sales, which you could potentially say is your fish or something like that. I don't know. I'm just making it up at this point. But yeah, they're just those kind of standard sales that keep you going. Nice little thing as well. And I mean, a bread and butter range is different for everyone. So for me, I class bread and butter as between £10 and £20. I've had different bread and butter ranges when I was doing really low value items, I classed anything between about £3 and £6 or £7 as bread and butter. Well, that was a few years ago. I don't do anything below a tenner now. So, you know, £10 to £20 is my bread and butter. For someone else, their bread and butter might be £30 to £50 for someone who does basically most of the items over £100. Their bread and butter might be a lot higher, or someone else it might be a lot lower. It's really subjective, but yeah, that's what I mean when I say that anyway. Question: does anyone ever customize and use PayPal packing slips? Never seen them mentioned in any videos. Well, the way I've always understood it, and I might be wrong here, although I've been selling for quite a while, so I don't know, but I might be wrong. You never know, you know, with these things, you always have to exercise a little bit of humility or a little bit of humbleness, because no matter how long you've been selling, something can pop up and you think, oh, actually, you know, I was wrong on that. But from my understanding, there's really no point in adding packing slips or, you know, pieces of paper inside your parcels. Just whack your label on top, get it shipped off. I know people in the past have said a bit and have been quick to say, oh no, you should add a packing slip in the parcel. But really, in my understanding, I've never done it. I don't think I have. Might have done it once or twice on one or two occasions. The buyers don't blooming really care. If you want, right, here's the thing. If you want to add some sort of personalized business card or something, go for it if that's your thing. But really, I don't see the point in a packing slip, and I'm not really too hell-bent on the whole personalized business card thing. That's why I don't do it, really. But I can see the appeal in that, and I can also see why people would do it, because you never know, it might bring in a little bit of repeat business, and also it can be quite nice for a buyer to receive something that says, you know, we appreciate your order or something like that. But for me personally, it's not something I do, and as I say, I don't really do the packing slip thing as well. But, you know, other people might have different opinions on that. They might say, oh, well, you know, no, I think it's good that you should, you know, I think you should do that and all the rest of it. But I think it's really just a matter of personal preference opposed to anything you actually need to do or don't need to do. For example, you need to put an address on that parcel or else it won't get to the address that it's going to. That's a need, but it's not necessarily a need to put a packing slip in. Anyway, well, I'll just go up the chat. We've got Peter, we've got Andrew in. I don't know why I said Peter. A very brief good evening from me. Okay, cool. Oh, Peter said a second ago, I just saw the comment when I was reading out Leanne's question, and I said Lainey. Sorry, it's Leanne. It's Leanne. Sorry, I got it. I got there in the end. I'm so busy reading out people's names. I butcher some names. I do. I tell you. It's just how I am. I'm terrible with names. Right, let me go down a little bit. Don't know. I can't see any more questions. So if you haven't got any more questions, whack them in. I'm not fully down the chat yet. I'm just going down, but I can't. I always feel like I'm going to miss one though. Oh no, I think Andrew. Question: Twix or double decker? I would be Twix. I don't think I've ever tried a double decker. Is a double decker one of those ones with nuts in, like peanuts or something? I mean, I know a Lion bar and stuff like that, they have peanuts. I've never been a fan of nuts and chocolate. Just like in this, I mean, I've been a fan of nuts and chocolate separately. It sounds so weird. It sounds like there's an innuendo in this, but really isn't though. I've been a fan. I love cashew nuts. I love peanuts and things like that. I mean, walnuts are okay. You know, the problem I find with walnuts is they're a little bit bland. With cashews, you know, put a bit, well, you don't need to put it on actually separately yourself because they come in packs like this, but you know, you get the salt and peppered ones or salted ones they're nice, you know, with a bit of flavor to them. Well, walnuts, they seem quite bland to me. I don't know why that is. It's just for me, they just seem quite bland. But no, I don't know what I know what a double decker is, but I don't know exactly what's in it. I guess it's nuts though. I have a feeling it's nuts. I've never tried it though, so I'd have to actually try it, but if it has got nuts in, I'm not that bothered. Question: do I exist or am I just a video game character? I can't, no one can answer that for 100% certainty, can we? We don't know. That's a metaphysical, again, that's a metaphysical question. So it's in the realm of not being able to be answered. For example, is our universe, I said this a few weeks ago, did I not? Or possibly was it on my other channel, Armchair Philosophy? I don't know. But anyway, I've said it in the past on a video. Are we the little bit of spit on the inside of a balloon or something in a giant's universe, and our entire universe is just within that little bit of spit? Yes, it's very, 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 very highly unlikely, but you still can't give it a secure answer. We don't know. We have to resort to saying we don't know, because yeah, we can say, well, that's just absurd. That's ridiculous. No, of course we're not. But how are you getting to the answer of no? Well, you are assuming that, oh, well, no, it can't be because it's absurd. But if you think about it, a lot of things in life are absurd, aren't they, really? I mean, if you look at life not knowing, let's say, if you looked at a sheep, not knowing it was a sheep, never really experiencing it, it looks alien, it looks foreign, it looks different, it looks like something you'd never come up with in a million years. It's something weird with all these fluffy things on it, and then you've got these eyes, and the sheep's eyes are weird because they're like little lines, aren't they? The sheep's eyes, I think, do we go that way or that way or something? But they're like little slits, aren't they? And it's just bizarre. It's the weirdest thing ever. And then it's going down, it's walking on these weird, 4 legs, and going down and munching this stuff on the ground that shoots up from the ground in weird ways. Like, how weird. So you can never give these things a correct answer, really, or a complete answer, because it's a metaphysical question. Right, then I'll go down a bit so that then I don't ramble too much on philosophy. I can do that. Oh, it's not really, well, I suppose it is philosophy because it's metaphysics, isn't it? But I almost consider metaphysics transcending of philosophy. It's almost like metaphysics is its own subject within it. I mean, a lot of things in philosophy are their own subject in their own rights. But I find metaphysics in particular, that should be just, you should be able to study a degree on metaphysics alone, like not as part of a philosophy degree, but as a degree on its own, because there's so much that, and it's not just universal metaphysics or anything. You can study metaphysics in all sorts, like in a micro setting or a macro setting, in all sorts of different ways. So yeah, but anyway, that's just my opinion on it. Right, let me go down, let's have a look. Oh, that's a funny one. How long before one of the ladies in the chat threatens me with physical violence? I don't know. It depends on how long you're all right for tonight, Andrew, and you're not blooming taking it too far with your flirting. But normally you're okay. You don't take it too far too often, so I've got to give you that. But sometimes you can. Sometimes you can just push it a little bit. But that's how you are. It's all right. Andy says, I started calling £10 sale items bread and butter. Yeah, I think a lot of people do now. I mean, I mean, I don't watch that many resellers on YouTube anymore. I dip in and out to people's, but I probably only know 1 or 2 other people that actually say. I mean, does George Ross says it, doesn't he? George Ross is someone else who says it. But I don't know anyone else really who says it. I mean, I say it a lot. I say it in every single sales update. I say it, or almost every sales update. So I do say it a lot. But yeah, I don't know many other people who actually use that word too much. But as I say, I'm not taking credit for it because I don't know where I got it from. I really don't. Right then, let me have a look. Is Goymer still alive? I don't know, but God, some of the drinking he's done on Andrew's streams, my God, how bloody crazy he's got on there. Right, oh God, I'm swamped with chat tonight. God, I'm gonna have to go down. Actually, not quickly, but slowly, just to make sure I've not missed any questions. Starbar is my secret fave though. I have a friend who likes Star bars, but I've not tried one myself. I've not. I don't know, what are they? Are they now? I'd say I've never tried one. I've never looked at the ingredients, but I would think for some reason that it's fruits and nuts. Obviously not like dairy milk fruit and nuts, but somewhat similar in a bar form. I don't know. I'm just getting that vibe. I just feel like that's probably what it is. But I did actually buy one for my friend, but I didn't, obviously, as you don't go into a bloody shop, pick up a chocolate bar and look at the ingredients, do you? Especially when you're just buying it for a friend. But no, so I didn't look at the ingredients, but I'm guessing I just got that vibe from it. Maybe there was something on the packaging that indicated that there was fruits. I don't know, but like a little fruit on the side of the packaging or something. I'm not sure, but yeah, I get that feeling that that's what it is anyway. But again, if it is that, I'm not going to like it because I don't like the whole fruits and nuts and all that in chocolate. I just don't know. I don't know why. I suppose it's just personal preference, but it's one of those things. I think I have tried it a couple of times. Oh, yeah, I just don't know. But saying that, I've not tried chocolate and nuts for 8 years, 7, 8, 9 years or something. So, yeah, I mean, it's probably long overdue and try to see if I like it these days, because the tastes change over time, don't we? And you think, oh well, actually, no, I like that now. So, yeah. Question: I haven't caught up on Doctor Who. I need to. I got something I could watch tonight actually, because I've not really got anything to watch now. I've just finished. I don't know whether any of you know this, but I've know of Rick and Morty, the TV show. But I've been watching that. And that's bloody good. That's right up my street. So, I mean, it's all sci-fi and all the rest of it, isn't it? So I've been watching that. And then I revisited, I know a lot of people will be aware of this as well. Most probably a lot of you will have watched this. Peter Kay's Car Share. That's brilliant. I watched it when it first broadcast, 2015, 2016, something like that. But yeah, I went back and revisited that. But that's only got about 10 episodes in it. So I went through that pretty quick. And what else? There was another... Oh, I was watching that BBC One series. Was it BBC One or BBC Two or something? I don't know. But a BBC series anyway. It's called Ghosts, and it's with the girl out of Fresh Meat, and she's also in something else as well. Oh, I don't know what else she was in, but she was at Fresh Meat anyway. And I thought it was brilliant, bloody brilliant, Matt. It was the Horrible Histories troupe who did it. So all the people out of Horrible Histories back when I was little, or I say little, I mean about 13, 12, 13. It's about 10 years ago. They have kind of worked together on different projects, over the last 10 years, aside from Horrible Histories. And this is one of the things that they wrote and starred in themselves. And I thought it was brilliant, and it really struck a chord with me, that. So I do know, I looked on Wikipedia, as valid as Wikipedia is, we won't get into that. But I looked on Wikipedia, and it said that there is a second series confirmed. And I think they said that a third season might be confirmed, or series is to be confirmed or confirmed as well. So, yeah, I'm happy about that. So, obviously, because of that, I was watching all them. And long story short, I'm doing rambling again, aren't I? But long story short, this is what you get with me. You get me live story if you ask me a question. Long story, the last week of my life, anyway. Long story short, no, that's why I haven't watched it, because I was too busy watching all them others. I think there's something else I was watching as well, but I've been jumping recently. Normally, what I do is I go on Google, and I look on Google for a nice sitcom. And really, I'm looking for something with 5 seasons or above, and potentially about 20 episodes in each season, or 15 episodes, like the long American seasons. Because that means I can work, and I work it out mathematically. Right, so if I'm watching TV for 2 hours a night, which is my normal kind of range from 9 till 11, sometimes I'll go to bed at 10:30, so till 9 to 10:30. I think, right, so these are 23 minutes each, right? And there's 5 seasons, and there are 15 episodes in a season. So that's 75 episodes there. And then you can see you work it out mathematically by times in the 23 by 75, and then you divide that by, obviously, how do you do it now? You divide that by the hours, do you, or something? And then, anyway, the way I do it somehow mathematically, but I can't do it offhand because I forget. But I do it somehow, and then it gives me the amount of days that it'll take for me to watch that series. And my aim is always about 3 weeks and over, because if I do it 3 weeks and over, then obviously I've got some substance there. I don't want to be starting a series only for it to have 6 episodes, 1 season, and then I have to find another series in a day's time. I want to find a series or a season or whatever, series. Find a series of a certain TV show, let it be blooming 10 seasons long if I want, or whatever, 200 episodes, all 20 minutes each. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant, because then I'm done for 2 months, so I'm done for a month, and I've got TV for a month. Whereas, if you got these little seasons, you're jumping. So that's what I've been doing. I've not been able to find, or I've not really looked at, on Google too much, because I've been through so many series of stuff for, these days. So I've not got that many to pick and choose from. And I only like certain bits. I'm not going to watch, well, I was going to say horror seasons, but not only just horror series. I'm not into horror or anything, but any series that I don't really like, I'm not going to watch it. So because if you don't like it, you're not going to watch it. So with a lot, and that's a lot of series actually, because there's only certain genres I like. So when you pull all them out or pull them off the table, you've not really got that much to play with. So especially with me doing this for the last, I don't know, 7, 8 years now, 6, 7, 8 years, I've been through a lot of series in that time. So, so it's one of those things really, but that's what I go. So I've been jumping, and I want to get back to having a good solid series of 5 seasons or above, good, maybe 75 episodes or above, and wheel it off, that's what I like. So yeah, anyway, that's the long answer to that question. Do 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 do. Have we not got any questions? Come on, bloody hell! Here we go. How many pairs of hiking trousers is too many? 7 is springing to mind. Any more than 7, and you've got a bit obsessive about it. 6, you're probably okay with. Now, I don't know. 7 just sprang to mind. I don't know why. It's a common number, isn't it? 7. That's most people's favourite number. So I suppose it's not my favourite number, but it sprang to mind anyway. Splang, is that a right word? Splung, isn't it? It's not sprang. Splang isn't a word, I don't think. What is the most interesting item you have resold, or thing you've resold? Well, I've said this before. I liked that HMS Terrible, the candlestick made from the teak of HMS Terrible. I thought that was so good. That was really interesting. I've said this before as well, because you're going to get the same answers, because these are the the items that I've really enjoyed selling. These are the few items that have stuck with me. But I had a Mark's Toys Mary Poppins. Obviously, my regulars will know this story and everything. So I went to the auction and bought one of those, and it was really nice. It was boxed and everything. Unfortunately, it was missing the feet, but it was a bloody lovely. I mean, if it had the feet, I would have been even more happy with it and everything. But it was a bloody lovely item. I just thought it was so cool. And I've had nice vintage games, vintage toys before that have been quite cool. There's been a couple of nice champagne glasses that I've had that are. And a couple of nice decanters as well, but I've had some nice champagne glasses that were around 100 quid, sort of like 80 to 100 quid. In fact, I think I've still got some champagne glasses on for about 130, 140 quid. So yeah, I've had some really nice sort of bits of glassware that I've really liked as well, because I went through a period of enjoying getting into a bit of glassware. I didn't know anything about it. I just enjoyed picking bits up here and there from the auction. So yeah, there's been bits of that. I don't know what else really. I wouldn't really want to say any sealed board games. I mean, I've had a lot of sealed board games. I've had a lot of higher value sealed board games, but they're not really that exciting, are they? I mean, friends seen it brand new and sealed. Yeah, a couple of years ago on Amazon at Christmas, you'd get 100 quid for it, 120 quid for it. So it's a good value item, but it's not really that interesting, is it? So, but I, in terms of the vintage toys and stuff and vintage, antiques and stuff like that is absolutely brilliant. Really, they're more interesting. Sorry, I was just looking at the chat and trying to finish off that as well at the same time. I can't multitask. Peter Ray says, question, how many YouTube channels are you going to try and have had? You mean how many YouTube channels am I going to set up? Or how many YouTube channels do I watch? Or how many YouTube channels am I subscribed to or anything? I don't know. I suppose there's a few different ways to answer that question. So if I'm answering it in the way I think you've posed the question, which is how many channels am I looking to set up or to have, it's funny you should mention this actually, because I have been thinking today about my desire to set up yet another YouTube channel. You know how many I've actually, I could answer that question in the other way as well while I'm answering it in this way. I know that's paradoxical, because how could you answer something in this way and the other way all at the same time? I'll show you how. So anyway, Electra is crying at the door. I'm not going to let her in though, because don't let her in. Why? because she'll jump on my computer, she'll click the button and the power will go off, and I'm currently doing a stream, so don't let her in. Anyway, that's that. So, yeah, basically this kind of, so I was thinking about doing, another YouTube channel, and I've already got, this is where I was going with it. I've already had about 8 channels. So if you're asking the question in that way, Peter, that's the answer to it. So I've had in the past about 7, 8 channels, some of which have just died a very, very quick death. I've literally done a few videos on there and they're gone. I'm like, no, I'm not really, I'm not bothered about this. And so I've not put any effort in. So, I've done many channels in the past. I'm currently active on 2 channels, which is my Armchair Philosophy one and then this one. Although saying that, I'm actually active on, I can't say active. I'm active on the Armchair Philosophy one, but I've actually scheduled videos out for about a month or so. So I'm actually not doing anything on that channel. I just scheduled a load of videos before Christmas all the way up to February something. And then, so I'm kind of active, but I'm not active. But I'm active on this channel, of course. But there is another thing that I want to do, actually, that I've kind of been thinking, oh, that would be good. I want to set up another channel, possibly for a podcast of some sort. So, I did the Reselling Rebels podcast, and I also did the Selling with Sanity podcast, which was a reselling. And you can search my channel. You can search this channel if you want to see these. So I did the Reselling Mental Health one, the Selling with Sanity, and I did the Reselling Rebels one, which was about reselling. And so I like that podcast format, and I feel like I'm pretty good at doing a podcast as well. I mean, if you watch some, especially the Reselling Rebels one, I felt that I put a good bit of my ability into that, and I thought, yeah, I'm really happy with how that came out. So it would be good possibly at some point. And I'm not saying that I'm going to commit to this because it's a lot even trying to keep up with the Armchair Philosophy channel and this one. And, a lot of the time I kind of skimp on doing videos on that one and it gets sat there and left for a month or so without any content. So, it's like that really. But I would like to set up another channel and do a podcast. I mean, alternatively, I could do it on this channel, and that would give me a bit more motivation because then I don't have to really, I'll tell you what it is. And Zahir made a really good point on this the other day. He said on, well, I don't know whether you'll know because you might not have watched it, but he said on, I think it was one of Tommy and Tracy's streams, he said basically it's all the little things in business that actually have the biggest impact with motivation. And I really resonated with that because the reason I don't actually want to set up another channel solely for this podcast, I kind of do, obviously, but because I want to do it, but I kind of don't because I know that I can't be bothered going on YouTube every day, signing out of this account and then logging into the other one every other day or every single day just to be able to upload a video on that one and check the comments on that account and all the rest of it. It's, that's what, even with my Armchair Philosophy, I don't log into that account as regularly as I should because I just can't go. And I even have this is bad. This is really bad. I have the little thing that is on YouTube on your top right hand corner where you can actually switch accounts within literally a few seconds, and I still don't do it. So it's like those tiny little things that I'm like, yeah, but that demotivates me massively. And so if I did it on this channel, then it wouldn't demotivate me. But the problem is, it's not really a problem because it's my channel and I can do what I want on here. And of course, I've mentioned in the past and even the last few weeks that I'm thinking of incorporating a bit more live content into the channel, but I don't want to do this podcast on reselling. I want to do it on life. I want to do it on sort of tied into the philosophy but not philosophy, because if it was solely philosophy it would go on my philosophy channel. It would be a nice fit. It's not necessarily that. I mean, possibly a little bit of that, but I don't know. I'm going to have a think of it because I possibly could put it on the philosophy channel, but I kind of don't want it to be just solely philosophy. I want it to be just general life, just maybe even getting a few guests on and having a bit of a chat, sort of talking about kind of life experiences, talking about kind of, let's say I have guests on talking about kind of the things that they enjoy in life and stuff like that. Just like a very general traditional podcast, basically. Not too much. I mean, I suppose a bit like the ones like Joe Rogan and all the rest of it, like Happy Hour podcast or What's Good podcast. I mean, I'm mentioning all the younger ones really, but except Joe Rogan, of course, he's a bit older, but I suppose he has quite a younger audience. but somewhat like that. But obviously, of my own style, I wouldn't do it exactly the same. There'd be differences to it. But yeah, so it's funny you should ask that question actually, Peter, because it's something that I've been interested in. Do you like Harry Potter ads, or is it just Doctor Who? I like Harry Potter. Did I rewatch it yet? Oh no, I didn't rewatch the last one. I don't know why I stopped on the last one. I didn't watch the last one, but yeah, I rewatched the Harry Potters not long ago. I do enjoy them. I really do like them. I read a few of the books in childhood, but I didn't really. I wasn't really a fan. I mean, with books in childhood, I didn't like books at all. It's weird that now I like books, but I didn't like them in childhood at all. So I wasn't really that keen on reading the books. But the movies were very much my generation. So I did watch all the movies, and I've since rewatched them and stuff. So I do like it. I think it's that fantasy element again, isn't it? So of course I'm gonna like it. Anything with that kind of either sci-fi or slight fantasy element, I'm gonna like. Wizarding and witches and things like that, I'm not as into as the science fiction. But again, as I say, it has that kind of similar fantasy theme to it. So it's something that I'm going to fairly be on board with. It's why I like Rick and Morty, really. Although the reason why I like Rick and Morty is because it's very... what's the word that people use? Not blunt. It is blunt. It is blunt in its kind of... it's very nihilistic view on life, basically. But there's another. Is it dry? The word I'm looking for. It's very dry. It's kind of, I don't know, not quite gritty. I suppose it is a bit. Well, it is a bit gritty, really. But it's gritty in cartoon terms, not necessarily in live action terms. But yeah, but I like it for that. I like Rick and Morty for the science fiction element, of course, but I like it for the nihilism. I like it for the element of existentialism it has going with it. That kind of feeling of, oh, well, life's meaningless. And you get that in there. You get that kind of, Rick just being addicted to drugs and alcohol and all the rest of it. And Morty being like incredibly anxious individual on all these adventures that are going on and all the rest of it. And Rick doesn't seem to have a care in the world because he's just like, well, we're all going to die. It all goes to crap anyway. And obviously he's psychologically counterbalancing that kind of fear in the back of his mind that, oh God, yeah, we are going to die with the drugs and the substances and all that and the alcohol. But I love it. That's why I love it, because for me personally, as an individual, I'm not very I am a bit nihilistic, but I'm not an existentialist. I'm not, I'm not really too fazed by the absurd or anything like that. I'm a very, very positive person. I'm a very happy person, very motivated person. And so I think that because I'm like that, it gives me a nice contrasting viewpoint. And that's why I kind of like, the old saying, opposites attract. That isn't my philosophy really, but it attracts me still. It's weird. It is weird, but so I do. Yeah, I like it for that as well. I know that's a weird thing to say. You like something for. You like a TV show because it's nihilistic. That's a bit like almost pessimistic in a way, or depressive, but it's not. I actually do like it for that. I like it because it's depressive. How weird. How weird. But that's the truth, I'm just being honest. I like it because of that. It's got a cool feeling for it. Anyway, right, let me go down. Oh my God, we've got a load of questions. The chat's just jumped. Oh, well, I made my bed. Now I've got to lie in it and answer all these questions. Right, okay. Are you still vegetarian? I am, although occasionally I sneak some meat. Since Christmas, I have been doing. I had a little bit of corned beef the other day. Oh, I love corned beef. Yeah, so I had a bit of corned beef. But that's about it. You can't come in because you'll only turn the computer off, but you can come back in about half an hour. I'm just speaking to the cat. So I sneak a little bit of meat every now and then anyway. A little bit of corned beef or something every now and then. Yeah, it doesn't harm you. Yeah, I can still say I'm a vegetarian, right? Maybe, or possibly that's a little bit insulting now. I don't know. Anyway. And I'm currently watching Man in the High Castle. Ooh, that's on Netflix or something, isn't it? I don't really think it's particularly my kind of thing, but I'm guessing it's a pretty decent show nonetheless. His Dark Materials was a good show. I don't know what is that in reference to Peter Kay. I'm not sure, maybe, or I don't know, maybe I don't know. Or was that the Horrible Histories troop, because I'm way down the chat, so it was back when we were talking about TV shows, what everyone's putting in the chat here. I've avoided every episode on TV so I can watch it all in order. Yeah, you know what I like as well? I don't watch TV. I mean, I don't have I used to have a TV there, and obviously I'd watch it in bed, but I don't have that TV there now. And I just watch all series, like binge watch them. I mean, that's the culture now with young people. It's all binge watching things. And what do we call it? Well, I mean, it's streaming, but what do we call it? Stream binging or something? I'm not sure anyway. But I like doing that, so I like, watch them straight, it's just so good. But yeah, so yeah, I do love my series. I like watching. I was contemplating actually stopping the TV time from 9 till 10:30, and actually basically doing reading. And now, why are you crying so much? Calm. She's gonna cry. But actually, can you guys hear her on the mic? I don't know whether you can actually, but yeah, so I was swapping my TV for reading because I thought, oh, that'd be brilliant if I got another hour and a half a day in of reading. And it's something I'm still considering. I might do it. But when I think, yeah, but I do like TV. I like that just time where I could switch off. You see, with reading, the books I read, I've said this many, many times, I read all non-fiction books. I read philosophy books. I read religion books. It's pretty heavy stuff. So, you want a wind down in the evening. You don't want to be reading that, from 9 till 10:30. I don't mind reading it in the morning. I don't mind reading it maybe if I've got 10, 20 minutes in the afternoon when I'm having a little bit of a break. And I don't mind reading a little bit in the evening, but I don't want to read for an hour and a half before bed kind of thing. But I do want to read an hour and a half before bed because I think, God, how much more knowledge could I get if I swapped out the TV time for reading time? But I think, it's just made too heavy. So it's a bit of a predicament, but it's my own predicament. So yeah, it's just one of those things, isn't it, really? But it's something I'm considering. I might do it in future. I'm not sure. Right then, 8 minutes straight, Peter. What's he on about? Is that one of my rambles? He's saying I just rambled for 8 minutes straight. Oh my God. Honestly, that's crazy. I don't know. I guess that might be what you're talking about. Have you ever used QuickBooks Self-Employed? I just got it and find it very good. I haven't, but I probably should. It's something one of those things that you think, oh, actually, yeah, a lot of people are using that, and I think it might actually benefit me as well. I mean, it doesn't matter, if other people are using it, it doesn't really bother me. I'm not going to just follow the crowd, but if other people are using it and they find it good, and then I use it and I think, oh, actually, I find this good myself, then yeah, I possibly should use it or give it a go and stuff. So yeah, it's one of those things I want to look into, but I've not looked into as of yet. I think can you put you can put your receipts in the thing, can't you? So then but I mean, I'll still have receipts around anyway. So yeah. Anyway, I've got to look into it anyway. So Peter says, question. I guess, have you put a question further up the chat, Peter? I don't know, or maybe you're just mentioning that there's a question around there in the chat. I'm not sure. Your question is long gone, Peter. Oh no, right. Oh, sorry, Peter. Is yours right in the chat? Sorry. I might not be able to find it because there's so much chat going on. Oh, where? Oh, no, I think I answered that one. That's the only question I can see from you, Peter. Possibly I answered it then. Well, okay. Possibly I answered it. I'm not sure. Maybe there's another one. One ad to read. If you want me to read the question, whack it in the chat again, and I might see it when I'm at the bottom of the chat, but I'm not at the bottom of the chat yet. Well, it'll get answered eventually. Maybe I've already answered it. Possibly I've already answered it. If you only humanized orange. Hey, hang on a minute. Humanized orange. Do you remember? Actually, I think I've got it in the title. Not you specifically, the humanized orange, but I'm talking to my regulars, and I don't know whether you're a regular, you might be. But I did a video, a Thursday Talks video, and it might be that they've actually named themselves that. Probably not. Maybe I'm just being too proud there. But anyway, I did an episode of Thursday Talks called Humanizing Oranges. And now someone's on the stream here called The Humanized Orange. That is so cool. Anyway, if you only wanted to watch without the BS from people with a personality like when the original wave release are made, who would you watch? with a personality. Oh, with a personality I like. Okay, I get it. With the original wave. Well, the thing is, do you mean the original wave in the UK? Because I know all of them, but I don't know the original wave in the US. I only know. Blooming hell, you're crying like crazy. She's blooming stepping up and crying. Every time she comes back to the door, she's crying louder. It started off where it was like a really low cry, and then it was a medium cry, and now it's a really, really loud cry. I don't know why she's. Oh, I tell you, though, Electra is a nightmare in bloody winter. All she does all day is hang around my room because she don't go out, and she just terrorizes my PC. My PC shuts down about 4 times a day because she gets on top of it, as I've said before, clicks that button, and it's gone. And oh God, if I'm in the middle of work, it's terrible. Anyway, but she'll go out when it comes to sort of springtime, sort of March. So yeah, anyway, what was I saying there? So, I forgot what I was saying. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, so the YouTubers. So in the UK, I would just watch the ones that I actually used to watch, because I was around the first wave of resellers, and then I started creating content as well from that sort of time, or just after that time. I mean, I wasn't the first, obviously. It started in 2014 it started with really like 2013 with Tommy English Picker, then 2014 with Nick, and then obviously I came along in 2015 with a bunch of other people. So I would just watch the same people that I used to watch back then, because I was there when it was happening, kind of thing. So I'd watch Nick, I'd watch Zahir, I'd watch Ben, of course. And yeah, I got on board with a lot of them. And I used to be addicted to watching Nick's videos when I first started, and I was trying to get as much knowledge as possible. I just go through his backlog and just watch load of content, because at that point he had already been doing videos backlog. So yeah, right then. Ads, do it all on one, saves you the time. Do playlists like Pete seems. Yeah, possibly, but the thing is, I do like splitting up, because I know the problem is when you do content on one channel, right? Yeah, it saves time, it's brilliant, but what you get is this weird fluctuation in views. So you'll get, let's say someone does on their channel, they do vlogging, personal vlogging, life vlogging. They do a podcast about a specific subject, and then they do, let's say, reselling or something like that as well. 3 different things that are maybe quite opposite to each other or different to each other. Then what you get is maybe the people who like the reselling, that might get you most views. Obviously on my channel it will, because mine's the reselling branded channel, and that's what I built it as. That's what I've got to 4K. So be able to views on that, and then you'll only get a small fraction on the podcast, and you might even get a smaller fraction still on the vlog, or you might get a small fraction on the vlog and a smaller still fraction on the pod. And you can't really gauge the growth or the interest for these. I mean, you can gauge the interest because you know that people possibly not watching because they're not interested, but it's not just that they're not interested. It's the fact that it's a reselling channel, so you're not really building an audience there. So if you separate it and go for a brand new channel, you can actually build an audience around that specific other thing that you've got going, and build it specific to that. And then you can see a bit more, oh, right, this is the interest, this is the engagement. And as I say, you can grow it from there. And also it helps separate it in your mind as well. You think, oh, right, well, this is kind of, separated. This is my reselling, this is me this. And it is nice to have that separation. But as I say, it's not brilliant because you've got 2 channels, and you go back and forth on the channels, and you have to upload on one and the other and all the rest of it. And you have to answer comments on one and then comments on the other and all that sort of stuff. And especially with me doing my reselling and me doing other stuff as well as YouTube, I don't want to have 3 or 4 different channels I've got to log into, doing the uploads, doing the comments on every single one of them. So then that's why it makes it more appealing to do it all on one. But it's very hard. It's very hard to brand a channel and to sustain a channel doing multiple different things on that one channel, without obviously your views just going up and down. Like, maybe a vlog will get 100 views, maybe, reselling content, which is what the resellers, what the channel is based around, might get 400 views. And so it's very up and down, choppy. And yeah, so I don't like that. I like it being separate, so then I can build on top of both those channels more specifically. Get another computer ad. What in relation to the cat? I don't know whether you're talking in relation to the cat or whatever. But no, I am actually getting another computer, and not, well, I'm thinking of getting another computer because I've got a PC at the moment. I love my PC. I think it's brilliant. But I do want a laptop as well for a different purpose, that relating to this kind of plans that I've got going this year, which I am going to talk about very soon because I've had a few little updates on that. So I'm going to talk about not too long. That's coming. But yeah, so I'm thinking of getting a laptop for that purpose. But obviously I want it to be a really good one because I want to do my editing on the laptop as well. So if I want to do the editing on the laptop, I want a good graphics card. And there's a laptop I've been looking at, but it's 620 quid. But I need a good one. I really do. I don't want it crashing on me. I don't want it slowing down with me editing or anything like that. I want a blooming good laptop. So yeah, I'm getting one of them, and that'll be interesting as well. I'm going to do my editing and my Photoshop and stuff mainly on that. But yeah, I'm going to keep the PC as well, and I'll still have the capacity to edit on this, and I'll still have the capacity to do all my things on this as well. But yeah, it'll be interesting anyway. Your channel name doesn't suggest that is Reselling channel, so you're free. Yeah, I am free and open to do what I want, but all the people who are, and going forward into the future, but all the people who are already subscribed know this channel as a reselling channel. So then what you get, because I've tried it, I've tried doing other content on this channel, whether it be live vlogs or whether it be podcasts. Well, the podcast is kind of reselling related, but what I get is whenever I do a reselling video or non-reselling video and I sustain it over a series, you get, well, not everyone, but you get a few people going, oh, why are you doing this reselling content? And then, as I say, why are you doing this not reselling content? And then what you get is you get lower views anyway on it than if you just created another channel and built it up from scratch that way. And yeah, okay, you're going to get low views on that new channel because it's new, but you can actually build it up and you'd be much more suited to doing that in the long term. In the short term, it would be more beneficial for you, obviously, but in the long term, I find it's better doing that. But yeah, I mean, the podcast wouldn't be the podcast I could do on this channel, because it could still have elements of reselling in. It doesn't have to be exclusively just about life or hobbies or this. It can still have elements of reselling, and of course it would do anyway, because I'm a reseller by trade. So naturally that's going to come into it a little bit, just everyday talking kind of thing, just talking with people. So that's not completely alien. So I might consider doing that on here. But if I wanted to do something else, because there's another thing I wanted to do. What was the other thing I wanted to do? Oh, I know, that's a different thing. Yeah, but I wanted to do another channel still, but that's going to be in a few. What I'm doing is actually, I've got that GoPro, and I want to actually set up. I want to get a setup on my computer. I've got a setup on at the moment. I've got my mic. I've got my Logitech webcam. I've got my light up there. I want to get a setup that is a little bit more streamlined than this, and then knock out like so many videos. And so if I can get a slightly more streamlined setup, then it might actually encourage me to do more channels. Because if I can get a streamlined setup, and on the other channels I don't edit as heavily as I do on this one, then I could create more content. I could honestly do that, and therefore it might be something that I do. But I mean, there's always going to be people who are going to follow me to other channels, and if I make a channel, even if I don't see it through, which sometimes I don't, unfortunately, because, well, motivation or I don't know, just not being, well, I say not being able to find time. I always make that excuse, but mainly motivation, if we're being honest. But then I don't see it through or whatever. But there's always going to be a few people who will follow me to a new channel and see how it turns out and all the rest of it. So yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate everyone doing that. And we'll see, I suppose we'll just see with it. We'll see if I do that. But I will need to kind of get a more streamlined setup. And yeah, well, I suppose we'll just see on it. I feel like there's something else I need to say there. Felt like I didn't wrap that up well enough. But anyway, it doesn't matter. So I've got to go down the chat anyway, because if I don't, we'll be here forever. So question, can I change my name on here to Richard III? I'm only on my third wife, not resale related. Oh my God, that's crazy. Oh right, I'm actually near the bottom of the chat. That's good. Hey ads, can you sub to me? I need one more sub if you don't mind. Is that on your, oh, I can't do it on here. Is that on? Are you on like 1,000 subs something, or 999 subs on chat? Let me just go on your channel. Or are you like near 100 subs or something? I'm guessing you'll be like near. Oh right, yeah, okay, I get it. One, hang on. Oh, so you're a reseller. You got reselling content. Well, there's one video on there. How come it says I'm back with a jumble sale haul, but there's no other videos? Have you got like some videos? I mean, I guess. Yeah, exactly. People will only watch what they want to watch really on YouTube. Exactly. So, and that's why you get, you get these fluctuations. If you did not do eBay, what would you do? I would obviously. There's so many people who've asked this few months, over the last few months. There's two professions I would love to do other than reselling. And as I've always said, no matter if I do pursue these things in future, I'll always be a reseller as well. I'll always do this channel, and I'll always kind of do selling in some form or another. It might be a lot lower, it might be a lot higher. I don't know. It depends. But I'll always do reselling in some form because I love it. I've done it for a long time. Yeah, I had dabbling with it when I was a lot younger and all the rest of it. But yeah, the two careers would be a philosopher or a psychologist. Those would be the two. When I was younger as well, I always loved to think about life and death and theorize about what this all could be, what the hell this weird thing is that we're partaking in at the moment that we call existence. And so they would be the two kind of things. So yeah, I mean, that's why I've got my philosophy channel. That's why I do the philosophy channel, Armchair Philosophy. So yeah, I know a lot of people have asked that question actually. So I've probably answered that about for a few months, but yeah, it's a good question. Video editing is easier. How do you mean get a Mac? Yeah, I've heard about them. A lot of the big YouTubers have a MacBook and do that. I think it's just me kind of just thinking, I have to learn that. But I think about learning the MacBook and stuff because it's an Apple thing. And I'm used to the Windows stuff, so it's a new operating system. And I know it probably won't take me that long to pick up on, but I just think, I'll have to learn that and stuff. But it might be something I get. But I mean, they are what, $1,000 or they are 800 quid. If you want a good one, I'm not saying you might be able to get cheaper ones. What is it, MacBook Air or something? They're a good one, and they're a lot of money. But yeah, you probably get a cheaper one. But I don't want a cheaper one. I need a good one. If I'm going to edit, because what I've had is I've had a lot of it 12, 24 months or so. Since I've been using Premiere, I've had so many issues I've had to fix with the editing software. Some in relation to the PC, some in relation, the operating system. Well, not operating system, but the performance of the PC and stuff. Some in relation to the editing software itself. I want to make sure that I get a good laptop with, or MacBook or whatever, with a bloody good spec, so that then I know it can be very, very high performance. And yeah, okay, I'm still going to get some issues with Premiere because I'm always going to. It's a buggy software. It's a software that crashes frequently and stuff. I mean, for me, it doesn't crash all the time, but it's known to, it's known to be one of those software that is a bit buggy and stuff, and it's brilliant. So I know I'm going to have to deal with that on and off. But I would like to make sure that I've got a good, strong laptop that can have a good performance, and it means that I've set myself up right, essentially. But yeah, so it's interesting anyway. Jason's in. Hi there, Jason. How's everyone's sales? Yeah, mine are a bit up and down still, really. I've not been listing as much as I should. I've been listing I've been listing off and on the new store, and I've got a few photos actually on my phone. I need to list some more on that new store. I'll do another. Actually, I've already recorded another update the other day. I've got to edit it, but I'm going to do another update possibly tomorrow or something. I've not logged into the store in the last day or so, but I am going to do an update on that and see what those auctions are doing, because I've probably got maybe 6 or 7 auctions on there now. So we'll see if any of those have got bids and stuff. But yeah, it's an interesting idea doing that series actually. On the new store. I think that's an interesting series. I needed to do something different on the channel because I was bored, with hauls and sales updates. I mean, I've said that for a long time. I get bored with them because, I mean, the amount of time I've been doing YouTube, what have I been doing YouTube on this channel? What, 4.5 years or something now? I've been doing it just over 4.5 years, something like that. And 4.5 years of doing reselling content, hauls and sales updates and vlogs and so on. It gets boring. You want to do something fresh. So I wanted to create that new store, basically quite selfishly, just because I thought, oh, well, you know, it would be something interesting for me to do, something just different, starting something from scratch. And then, oh, you know what? Hey, presto, I can actually, you know, just record my screen very easily. You know, it's not hard to do that. And record the journey. And then it gets me some content for a few months because I can do updates on this for as long as I want, really. Now I can do updates on the store. So if ever I'm struggling for content, maybe, you know, I can't be bothered doing a haul, or I don't want to do a sales update because I'm like, meh. I can just do a nice little store update, and I can kind of do a mini sales update within that store update. But it feels fresh, it feels new, it feels interesting, and it also feels like it's a bit of a journey that I can share with you guys, rather than it just be an average haul video or an average sales video. All I'm doing basically is just converting the haul videos or sales updates into something that's slightly fresher. It's not that I'm actually doing anything unique or anything. It's just that I'm doing it, coming at it from a different angle that satisfies my kind of need for doing something a bit different, and hopefully, or possibly, your desire to watch a little bit of something different within the reselling content world as well. So yeah, well, that video did well, actually. That first video, it's about 850 views or something, so I was happy with that. Right, I'm just going to go down. We'll have a few more questions and then I'll pop off. Let me, I think I saw something else up the chat. Did I? Maybe not. I'm only on series 3. Oh, Man in My High Castle. Dan the Man. What a name. Dan the Man. What a username. Hi there. I don't know whether I've seen you, so. Oh, just started eBay reselling. Any tips? Make sure you check your postage, because that's what I did first off. Make sure you're charging enough for postage. Make sure you're putting plenty of keywords in the title. These are all the standard ones. You know, do as many photos as required of the item. You know, personally, as you will have seen on that video yesterday, if you've watched it, you know, on some of those brand new and sealed items, I did, you know, just a few photos. If you've got something used, maybe do, I don't know, 5 to 10 photos, something like that. eBay always recommends to do as many photos as possible. I mean, they most probably will recommend that you do all the 12 photos, but to be honest, unless you're doing a higher value item or something that really is in detail, I don't pose personally, but that's just my personal opinion. It might be worth just testing out, doing a bit of testing for yourself, seeing if 12 photos actually gives you more visibility, or seeing if you're all right with just doing 5 or 6 photos. What else? Yeah, charging for postage. Don't worry too much about the description, because not as many people read the description that much anymore. But obviously, if the item's got some flaws or some problems with it, you'll want to include that into the description. Make sure you do the item specifics, because item specifics these days, they weren't so much when I started, but these days they're a lot more kind of honing down on those eBay, and they really do affect your visibility. So do a few item specifics. You know, you don't have to go overboard with it. I don't go overboard. But, you know, put a few in there. What else? Make sure you get a good buy price. So, you know, don't be paying over the odds for things. Make sure that you don't too much head think to yourself, right, I can get a tenner out of that, you know, maybe plus postage, right, I want to be in this for maybe £2, possibly £3 maximum. But you say £2 and you stick with it. And if that item's maybe £4, don't really be tempted to buy it, because something else is going to come along at some point anyway, because there's an abundance of stuff out there. So yeah, just don't let your heart rule your head too much. Make sure you always keep a bit of money in PayPal for things like returns, or for your eBay fees and stuff like that. Some people keep a buffer of £200 in, some 500, some 1,000. Some of the big players might keep a 5 grand or 10 grand in PayPal as a buffer, depending. It all depends on your kind of selling level, how much volume you're doing each month. But it's always good to keep a little bit of a buffer. My buffer personally is 500 quid. I don't I don't like going below that. I like having that buffer. I know some people say, bloody hell, that's a lot. You don't need to keep that much in there. And to be honest, I'd probably be cool with 200, but I like to keep, some sort of buffer in there. And it's just nice to have a bit of money there anyway as well. So I keep that in there. I've done that for quite a while. It used to be 200 actually, and then I was like, you know what, I'm going to start just keeping it at that, keeping it one up. What else? I don't know. I mean, go to plenty of places for stock, search out different avenues, whether it's auctions, charity shops, what else? Car boots at different avenues. Try and find a niche that works for you. So for example, if you feel like, maybe let's say in your personal life you like vintage toys, I don't know whether you do, but let's say you do, then possibly you start selling vintage toys because you're going to have more enthusiasm for that. Maybe it might be that you're into movies or something like that, then possibly there might be an avenue for doing something with movie memorabilia or film props or something like you might be able to get into that somehow, possibly go into auctions that specialize in those sorts of things. So maybe sell what you're interested in. That's another one. And I think that's what, obviously there's a lot of other things to it, and there's a lot that I could talk about with regards to problems and returns and all that sort of stuff. But, they're just some of the basic things that I would say to someone starting and that I had to kind of go through at the time of starting and made my mistakes on. And of course I would say go ahead and make your mistakes, because there's no point me saying to you, here's what to do, and then you do it flawlessly, and then it ends up that 12 months down the line you enter into one of those problems anyway, and then you don't know what to do because you've not made the mistakes earlier on. You may as well make the mistakes, learn from the mistakes, know what to do in the future, and then when you come across the problems in the future, they're just easy to get through. So yeah, I'd always say just to anyone, don't just try and be perfect. Make your mistakes, because those are the things that are going to help you and gain success and gain knowledge, gain experience, and also gain skill or gain skills to be able to do things better in future. So yeah, anyway, that's that. What does it take to do eBay full time? I don't know really. I would just say, wait, I've just clicked, there we go. I would just say, the one that comes to mind, the one thing that comes to mind before anything is just perseverance. You have to, the amount of time over the last few years that I've spent, I mean, like 10-hour days, 12-hour days, 14-hour days. I never knew this before. Before I set up a business, I never knew that it would be like this. I never knew it would be like this. But then you get thrown into it and you're like, whoa, I mean, it's weird actually. I say that looking back, I say, whoa, but actually, when you're first start, that you might get to the end of the day and you think, blooming hell, if I work 10, 12, 14 hours, you don't actually realize it because you're loving it. But when you look back, you think, wow, actually, I had quite a lot of perseverance. So I actually kept going quite a lot. But it's not something you really, really think about too much if you love what you're doing. It's the old saying of, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. It's a very old saying, that. It's very true as well. If you actually find the one thing that you love, or maybe the few things that you love. Obviously, we can all love as a vocation or a job. We can all love more than one thing. But there's probably going to be one certain thing that you love mainly, and then there's possibly things going down from there. So yeah, I would say that. Yeah. Wait, what was the? Where's the question gone now? Oh yeah. So I would say just perseverance. Really, that's the one thing that comes to mind, and just constantly keeping going, doing the work, and just getting there really slowly. Right. Let me go down. Oh, I've just gone. I've already been past these, so I must have gone up the chat. Oh, I must have missed some questions out. I don't know. That's my channel. I think you clicked the wrong person. I have hidden my own. Oh, I don't know. I don't think I did click the wrong person. I clicked on Lucy's name anyway, but I don't know. Possibly we've done the exact same as you. Yeah, Andy. Ads, more comedy shorts coming up. There isn't any plans to. I'd love to do another song. I've been saying this for months. I'd love to do another song, and I possibly might do, sort of. I don't really want to give a date because I don't know whether I'm going to do one or not. But yeah, I'd love to do a song or something again. But yeah, it's just at the moment it's just so hectic with things going on, and I'll reveal all very, very soon, like I've said. And then when I reveal it all, people will be like, oh, right, I get, well, yeah, okay, possibly you won't be able to do this, or you won't be able to fit that in. But yeah, it's a bit hectic at the moment. I mean, doing things left, right, and centre, getting things organised and stuff. And there's a lot more organisation to come with things that are going to happen this year. So I don't know whether I've got a chance to do a song or a comedy short, but it's not for not wanting to. I would bloody love to do one. I really would. It'd be absolutely brilliant. Right then, let me go up a little bit more. I started back the other day. Video took a break. Video order. I've been my channel. Clicked the wrong one. Oh, there we are. Right, there we are. That's what I am. Chai ads, what's a typical number of items you'd expect to come out with if going to, say, 5 charity shops? That's it's kind of how long is a piece of string question, that one. Because you could have a really good day and you could go in one charity shop and you could get bags of stuff. You could, if you had a relationship with a manager or a connection with the manager in that shop, you could go in there and you could fill up the car out of one charity shop. I've pretty much done it before, filled up the back seats at least. Whereas if you don't have a connection with a manager and just going around 5 charity shops, you might get nothing on one day. Or saying that you might get 2 items, or saying that you might get 10 items one day, or saying that you might get 15 items. I mean, I'm trying to think of an average, but I can't think of an average because there's so much variance. Some days I will come out with a lot. If one of the charity shop managers I know says, "Oh, I've got loads of stuff for you," I might come up with a few boxes or bags of stuff or whatever. But then other times I'll come out with literally nothing. I mean, I could say possibly if I have 5 charity shops, maybe 1 item a charity shop, something like that as maybe an average. But even then, I can't really say for sure because, again, it depends on different areas. Some people might say, well, actually for me, I'd say an average is 10 items, or for me, an average is 2 items or whatever. So for my area, for trying to find some level of an average, I'd possibly say 5 items around 5 charity shops, or 4 to 6 items or something around charity shops. But for sometimes I do just literally, I'll go around 5 charity shops and I'll come away with nothing. So it's very, very up and down. It is a how long is a piece of string question. You can't really define it completely from one day to the next. Which one did you play? New Leaf 2. Good day, legend. Oh, Diary. In fact, I think I need to check out your channel. I don't think I've checked out your channel yet. BCP's in as well. I don't know whether BCP's probably been in for half the stream, and I've not even shouted him out. So hi there, BCP. Anyway, let me go down. Oh, Jennifer's in. Hi there, Jennifer. Thanks, ads. Sub to. Oh, brilliant. Yeah, I just clicked it then. Yeah, so that looks like everything. That actually looks like we've got through all the questions, which is pretty crazy. We are on 1 hour and 10 minutes. So what I'll do is I'll wait for a couple more questions if anyone's got any, and then I will be out of here because we've done 1 hour. So thank you everyone who's come as always. And I'll wait a couple of minutes for them questions. And if there isn't any, then I will be getting off. So do you believe in God? Sorry, but like to know, what is the other channel you have? I'll say a good Buddhist term. If you believe in God, I don't believe in God. If I believe in God, no, wait. Yeah, if you believe in God, I don't believe in God. If you don't believe in God, I believe in God. There we go. I think that's the saying. It's a way of centering people, getting people back to the center and not going crazy with both kind of with either ends of the spectrum, essentially. So, you know, people say there's a good story, actually, a good Buddhist story. I don't know whether it was the Buddha himself. I think it might have been the Buddha himself. But anyway, he was sat there, and all of his followers, you know, loved him. And someone asked the question, "Do you believe in God?" And he said, "Is there a God?" That was the question. Is there a God? And the Buddha answered and said, one word, yes. He said yes. And all the people were running around screaming, you know, really, really happy because they're going to be saved and they're going to go to heaven or going to get bliss or whatever at some point. And then we come back the next day and someone asks, or a different person comes in and asks the same question. This time, oh no, you know, there's no salvation or happening there. You're letting something else, you're letting some sort of thought or external concept that you've been told dictate your mental state. You see, it's always about being firm, no matter what's happening around you, no matter who you be firm in your own mind. There's a great saying from the Buddha, actually, let the self be the refuge. And what he means by that, of course, is be solid within yourself. Don't let anyone believe anything. And this is the reason I'm not a Buddhist, because Buddhism itself is a form of attachment to to one of those poles. That is one of the attachments. So, you know, you don't be a Buddhist. If you're a true Buddhist, you don't be a Buddhist because you let go of the attachment to even Buddhism itself. So so that's, you know, I would say that's what I would say. You know, if you do, I don't. If you don't, I do. There we go. Terrible trying to get that, you know, get that right, the right way around. But yeah. Right then. And I know what the next question is going to be from someone. Yeah, but do you actually? That's a funny one. Well, I'll leave that to your imagination. Right then. Let's have a look. Oh, an Animal Crossing fan. Oh, who's an Animal Crossing fan? Oh, possibly at NH. I'm not sure. No, looking at the profile, possibly. Anyway, let's go down. I've been lurking to having ads waffle in the background as I've been photographing. Yeah, I'm probably quite good to having the background while photographing. Tommy is Tom. Funny thing was, actually, I was just thinking, Tommy was in earlier. Has he gone or something? Possibly just listening. Tried your address on from. Here we go. I won't show you the address on the back, but I've got it here. I think it's this. I don't know. I'm guessing it is. But yeah, I've got that there. Zahir's got my thing to be sent out soon, so I've got that coming in the post. I actually got Z to sign it as well, so it's going to be a signed piece of merchandise from Zahir. So yeah, I don't know when to wear it, to be honest. I might do it in. I'm probably going to do it in a pre-recorded video because then I can actually get some better shots of me in it. Because if I do it on a Thursday talk, you won't be able to see it fully, will you? So I'll probably do it in a pre-recorded, but don't expect it in the next few days because I want to buy a wig or something for it. I want to get some lipstick. I want to buy it. I know I've got that brown wig, but the thing is, I'm not really a brunette. I'd rather be a blonde. Anyway, first world problems. Anyway, so it kind of is first world problems. I don't know. Is it first world problems? Maybe for a man it is, but for a woman it isn't, is it? Because they can't actually dictate their own hair color. But anyway, I don't know. But no, I want to get a blonde wig, so I want to get a blonde wig with it, and a blonde will go nice with a black. Anyway, I don't know, black dress. And so I want to do that. So I'm going to do it. Also, it would probably be a little bit weird if I'm sat in here dressed as a woman in the nighttime when my mum and dad are in. If I do it on a pre-recorded, I can do it in the day when they're not here and it won't freak them out so much. So yeah, probably do it pre-recorded. So who is the greatest philosopher of all time? Well, that's subjective. I don't know. But you see, I love bits of different philosophers. So I like Nietzsche. I like Alan Watts, of course. I like, he's not really a philosopher. He's a psychiatrist, but also his work includes philosophy. Carl Jung, of course, Carl Gustav Jung. I like Socrates, of course. I like Plato. I like Marcus Aurelius, although I've not really looked into him that much. I know very little about Stoicism, but the bits that I know I really do like and I get on board with quite a lot. Even though I'm not an existentialist, and even though it is kind of opposite some of the philosophical thoughts I have, I do respect, Jean-Paul Sartre. I think that, the concept of existentialism is absolutely phenomenal in, a philosophical concept. But, I'd say that I kind of get on board with it a bit. I get on board with a lot of it, but there's little bits of it that I don't particularly like, particularly that of the bad faith idea, because, of course, I like religion and the religious side of philosophy. So the bad faith idea of existentialism, of course, it's not going to be something that I particularly shout about or really, really like. But I still admire what he did. I really, really like Wittgenstein, Ludwig Wittgenstein, who did the Tractus Logico Philosophicus. Although I've still not read it, it's down there. I know a bit about it, but not too much. I watched the movie of Wittgenstein, actually, which was a really good movie, absolutely brilliant. But he was, I feel he was a little bit kind of, I don't want to say troubled, but he kind of gave me a bit of that vibe, or he kind of possibly felt a little bit, I think he was kind of burdened by his intelligence more than anything. I think that's probably what it is, really. And possibly maybe there was an element of sexual repression there. I'm not too sure, because obviously he had, I don't know whether he actually had, as I say, I'm not too sure, but I don't know whether he actually had homosexual, well, actually it's latent homosexuality, not homosexual repression. Although I always thought it should be homosexual repression, not latent homosexuality, because when you say sexual repression, that should be, either homosexual or heterosexual, but it kind of just means heterosexual, and then you have latent homosexuality. But anyway, I've never understood that. I think the term should just be the same, but you just put homosexual or heterosexual in front of it. Anyway, that's beside the point. But I think he had some of that, and so that would have obviously troubled him a little bit. And then his intelligence on top of that. Can you imagine? The burden of sexual repression, and then the intelligence on top of that? That would be bad. Anyway. So I really like him. Besides all his personal life, I think he's a great guy and everything, and I think he came up with brilliant philosophical concepts. I like. They weren't really philosophers; they're more spiritual gurus, but there's still a bit of philosophy in there. So I like Osho, who is a spiritual guru, but also he actually did have a master's degree in philosophy, so he's a bit of a philosopher as well. I liked Gurdjieff, George Ivanovich Gurdjieff, who was a rascal guru, a spiritual teacher. So I like him. I like, what's that Zen master who was a really, really good philosopher of nothingness? I don't know his name. Japanese. I think he's Japanese. Yeah, I don't know. Also Japanese, D.T. Suzuki, Zen master as well, but also, again, you can argue a little bit of a philosopher. Like him, Judah Krishnamurti, obviously, again, philosopher, spiritual leader, whatever you want to call him, really. Who else? There's loads. I've not really explored Kant any at the moment. I've not really explored Schopenhauer. There's a lot of really obvious ones that I've not really explored. But yeah, I've not explored more recent ones, like, what is it, Popper? Is it begins with a K, his name, doesn't it? Someone Popper, anyway. But anyway, I've not explored him. Yeah, who else? There's a lot. Ancient. Obviously, I forgot about the ancient Chinese philosophers. So, Mozi or Lao Tzu or Li Tzu, I think it was the other one. Confucius. Obviously, one of my favorites, Zhuangzi. Mencius, I suppose. There's loads of Chinese, old Chinese philosophers. The creator of the School of Naturalists, what was his name? Zoo or something. Was it Zoo? I don't know anyway. But yeah, the creator of the School of Naturalists, he was, brilliant. There's obviously a lot of Greek philosophers and stuff out there. Heraclitus, of course, Heraclitus, the Greek philosopher. So, there's a lot, but of course, I'm naming names here. I've not dug into all of these people on a deep dive. I mean, obviously, Alan Watts, Lao Tzu, Confucius, a little bit. Zhuangzi, definitely. I've done a bit more of a deep dive on him. There's ones in there that I've done more, maybe Mosey as well. Who else? Jung, obviously Jung, but again, wasn't particularly a philosopher. But I've done a deep dive on some of these, but then there's other ones I know of, and I know little bits of their philosophy here and there scattered within my brain, but I don't know a complete knowledge on them. So, really, it's my ambition over the next few years to really gain a complete knowledge on as many of these philosophers as I can. The other one was Kaiserling I want to look into, and there's another one, brilliant philosopher, everyone talks about him, I forgot, but he was 16th, 17th century philosopher, I'm not sure. Anyway, I'll leave it there. Right then, let me have a check. Socrates was a great footballer. Did they have football back then? I don't know. Oh yeah, possibly didn't they actually? Yeah, they're my bags. It was said it was delivered today. Oh, cool. That's brilliant. I'm sourcing with ads and people think I'm a loon while giggling in a quiet footstep. Oh, my God. Right, yeah, so that's everything anyway. So I will leave it there for this one. KLC, sort him out. Sort who out? I don't even know. Yeah, anyway, I'll leave it there, guys. So thank you very much for joining me. And yeah, I will see you in the next one. Got another video coming out, I think, is it tomorrow? Possibly tomorrow. If not, it'll be Saturday. And then I've got a channel trailer coming out on Tuesday, something like that. So stay tuned for that. With that being said, I will see you very soon. Thank you very much for everyone who joined me today. Thank you very much for all your questions. And yeah, I will see you very soon. Bye.